Israeli and U.S. forces launched coordinated airstrikes on Iran's Tonguyan oil refinery south of Tehran, igniting massive explosions and fires that lit up the capital's skyline. The refinery, a key supplier that processes 250,000 barrels per day, now burns with ferocious intensity as thousands of barrels of crude and refined products feed an uncontrollable blaze. Iran's Revolutionary Guard later confirmed the attack and announced retaliatory missile strikes on Israel's Haifa refinery in direct response. Israeli and U.S. forces launched coordinated airstrikes.
This is getting gruesome. The city of Tehran has 8 million people in there. And a lot of them are going to get cancer. A lot of them are going to have lung issues. It is literally raining oil out there in the city of Tehran. And Iran just retaliated with a massive attack on Tel Aviv and practically every U.S. military base in the Middle East. Right now, every U.S. military base is either destroyed or under attack. And it is getting downright grimy right now. It has just gotten real. See, this attack on that oil refinery just pushed the envelope even further. And we got to chop it up and really break down what's going on prophetically. We got to talk about what believers should be doing, you know, the things that the churches, a lot of the churches are not really talking about. In mainstream Christendom, you're not really getting any true direction. But we're going to be really breaking things down. So I want everybody to come in and hit the like button. Make sure that you come through showing your support. And we definitely are going to have to get into this, brothers and sisters.
They working against us. They hate our souls. They hate us. They hate our righteous indignation. They hate the exhortation that dwells in us. They hate our love. They hate our conviction. They hate the fact that we repented. They hate the fact that we're truthful, honest, and bold. They hate our courage. Them devils hate us. We're not finna line ourselves up with these weirdos and freaks. With these weirdos and freaks. They working against us. They hate our souls. Weirdos and freaks. But these weirdos and freaks, they working against us. They hate our souls. Nubreed.
Ephesians 6:10. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord, and in the power of his might put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore Therefore take unto you the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all, to stand. Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked. And take the helmet of salvation, and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God. Praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit, and watching thereunto with all perseverance and supplication for all saints.
Welcome back. One love to everybody joining. Brothers and sisters, we got to break this down. World War III is here. And there's so many escalations taking place day by day. And we have to discuss the importance of being watchful and mindful in this time. And I just want to jump this thing off with a scripture. And it's Luke 12:54 through 56. And it reads, "Whenever you see a cloud rising out of the west, straightway ye say, there cometh a shower, and so it is. And when ye see the south wind blow, you say, there will be heat, and it cometh to pass. Ye hypocrites, ye can discern the face of the sky and of the earth, but how is it that ye do not discern this time?" See, brothers and sisters, a lot of people are hypocrites. When there's a rain cloud coming, they're going to go grab an umbrella. When it's hot outside, you're going to load up on your beverages, right? You're going to get some summer clothes. But when biblical prophecy is jumping off the page, how is it that the mass majority can't see? I'll tell you why. They're under a strong delusion, and they don't want the old system to die. They have gotten into a place of complacency, and they're now stagnant. And they purposely put themselves in disbelief because they would not believe the truth. They didn't have a love for the truth. Therefore, they're just going to have to be forced to believe a lie. Right? And brothers and sisters, this is not about being afraid. This is about being watchful. The scriptures tell us time and time again to be watchful. Thessalonians 5:6 tell us, therefore, let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober. See, what's going on in the world is sobering. What's going on in the world brings us closer to our Creator, because the prophecies are coming true. So essentially, watching is keeping us conscious. Even in times where we're unconscious, or we think that we're unconscious, that truth is embedded in us. Not that we stop living life, not that we stop having a good time, not that we stop, existing. Because what does the scripture say? A false balance is an abomination. So you got to have balance. You got to be able to have a good time. You got to be able to let your hair down, so to speak. You got to be able to be yourself, but at the same time, the information is what keeps us grounded from going off being like everybody else in the world. The Most High won't let us go too far off, right? Ezekiel 33:6 says, but if the watchmen see the sword come and blow not the trumpet, and the people be not warned, guess what? The blood is in our hands. So right now, we're going to be blowing the trumpet. Hey, it's going down in America. It's going down in Iran. It's going down worldwide. That's right, King Connect. Thanks for that scripture there. Thessalonians right there. And for this cause, God shall send them a strong delusion, that they shall believe a lie, that they might be damned who believe not the truth, but had pleasure in unrighteousness. And that's the reason why they choose to ignore the truth. This is the reason why they call everything doom and gloom. Shout out to Brother Tahan. This is the reason right here, because they have pleasure in unrighteousness. They have pleasure in gossip and being distracted and whatever other form of wickedness that they got going on. They're more comfortable with that than, actually taking a red pill, the real red pill, and awakening from the matrix. Now, for those just joining, in Tehran, which is a major city in Iran, they just got hit about a day or so ago with some coordinated attacks coming from America, and they got their oil refineries hit. And it is real bad out there. It's real bad. I mean, this type of attack right here is very close to a nuclear weapon. They're already having dark showers. They're already having fallout weather. Like literally, it's turning nighttime in the day. They can't tell the day from night. Some of the scenes of what's going on in Tehran is horrific. But I'm going to tell you right now, with the last 2 days, the retaliation has been massive, and it has been just as gruesome. We're just not getting all of that info in Western media. But there's definitely no turning back at this point. That city has a lot of people in it, and that was a crazy attack, and gas prices are fitting to shoot through the roof. I'm talking about, it's about time that we go ahead and get some extra gas. I am recommending that you get, if you have a few extra $100, with your monthly gas spending, get it now. Get it now, store it, because it's going to get real. But anyway, let's go.
Important hub for oil and for gas. Like now, you get the sticker shock that we're also starting to see, along with the visual shock when we see huge plumes of smoke billowing over Tehran after Israel hit several of its oil depots in and around the capital recently. Now, for gas, the price at the pump in the United States jumped more than 15% in the first week of this war. For oil, the last time a barrel crossed $100 for Brent crude, which is the global benchmark, that was after Russia invaded Ukraine back in 2022 and over supply lines between Russia and Europe. Now, in this new war in the world, it's damaging not only the source, but also the supply of traditional global energy to the world. One of the first incidents of damage was in Saudi Arabia from Iranian drones. This was at the Ras Tanura oil facility. This is home to the world's biggest terminal to export oil. So if we think of the Middle East as the heart of oil in the world, then Ras Tanura is its biggest artery leading out. Qatar was also hit by 2 Iranian drones, and that closed down the world's biggest site for exporting liquefied natural gas. And this was at Ras Laffan, which supplies the world with about 20% of all of its LNG. Bahrain's energy production has been hit too. An Iranian strike hit the country's only oil refinery there, and Bahrain's state energy company invoked this legal clause called force majeure, which means that because of things like natural disasters or pandemics, or in this case war, it doesn't have to make good on its oil contracts. And Gulf countries are now bracing for more hits from Iran. On top of all this, most of the oil or gas that is still being refined just can't get out, and that is because the Strait of Hormuz is basically blocked. This is a very narrow channel, just about 20 miles across at its narrowest point, that links several Gulf countries to the world. And for example, for Kuwait, Qatar, and Bahrain, they really don't have any other option. Normally, 25% of global oil by sea sails through it, and 20% of the world's LNG sails through it, but Iran says it won't let a single drop of oil leave the region. President Trump has said high oil is a small price to pay and that it will drop rapidly after the war with Iran is over.
We know that that war is not going to end anytime soon. And I want you all to put in perspective how self-destructive America is. They understand that when Iran closed the Strait of Hormuz, that the world would be affected and that prices would go up for gas and the global economy would be destabilized. However, Trump and what the US military decided to bomb their oil refineries that also provided a great deal of the world's oil. Just to show you that they're so desperate and fixated on trying to harm Iran that they don't mind costing Americans at all at this point. So it's a lot of desperation kicking in. And meanwhile, America is overspending a great deal. A great deal. I mean, there are hundreds and billions of dollars in the hole already. Yes, you heard it right. There are hundreds and billions of dollars in the hole. And Iran is over there using balloons that look like airplanes and helicopters. And America's wasting $1 million missiles and rockets on hitting those. Iran is over there using 3D paintings, and America's wasting its funds on that. So it's not looking too good right now. I think Kamala Harris stepped up today and said, listen, if they don't, they're going to have to get Trump out of office and intervene right now, or this thing is going to end. You know, and look, I don't trust nobody on that side either, but I mean, she's right about that. She's absolutely right about that. It is getting real.
Hey, we poisoned Tehran, the entire city, a city of 8 million people. It is now raining oil on these people. It's not a joke. Mm-hmm. And they're all breathing this in. They're all going to get fucking cancer. Yeah. Multiple generations after them are going to be born with fucking deformities and shit. This is because Donald J. Trump and Israel, the axis of Epstein, is the most evil, cruel empire in human fucking history. Please name one.
And on top of that, to add insult to injury, we didn't even realize that just a day ago, there has been some files that was released on Trump in those Epstein files directly connected him to SA with minors. I mean, directly connected. And I guess Trump is doing exactly what he wanted to do, a distraction, because the world is so distracted by this war, which we should be, because the consequences of this war are real. But meanwhile, it's coming out that Trump is really in some hot water in those files, right?
Single other nation that has spilt more blood in its history than the axis of Epstein, the combination of the United States of America and Israel. You can't do it. By the way, to every single soldier who is about to be deployed and to fight and die for Israel, I can't say that. I cannot say that. But I can think it. Oh, I can think it. Hey,
I mean, he's right, and there's going to be real consequences for this. But now, guess what? The retaliation has already started. U.S. bases are being overwhelmed right now.
All American bases in the Middle East are either destroyed or under attack. This is footage from Al Udeid, the biggest base in the Middle East, and it has been blown up in flames from Iranian missiles. This airbase in Iraq is in flames and under attack right now from Iraqi militias. In Kuwait, American air defenses are non-existent as Iranian drones are slamming into it every hour. Here in Bahrain, an American base hit again with an Iranian missile. It now appears also that the naval base in Bahrain has been completely destroyed. This strike right here is the reason that the Americans on that radar blowing up cannot detect anything. This was the biggest radar in the Middle East for US bases. There are only a few American defense systems left, as you can see right here, with everything else being relocated to Israel to protect them instead. The US has probably a day or two left of air defenses before they are completely overrun. It's already been confirmed in Bahrain, all American bases are out of air defenses, as you see smoke still rising on the naval one. Follow me for more updates. All American bases in the Middle.
And you got Trump and Pete Hegseth in the White House and in press conferences still up with the shenanigans. You still got them playing military mind games with the people. You still got them acting like they're winning. You got Trump, soon as the war is over, we're going after Cuba. You know, just a little war when we get after this Iran thing. No. Listen, American news is something else, man. When you go to Fox News, it's so many fallacies. It's so many lies. It's so many contradictions. And we can't forget about what even started all of this. And we got to talk about that, because it's certain things we're not really piecing together, but we're going to get to that.
Donald Trump just said he believes the Iran war is almost over, trying to declare victory when the whole world can see this war has been a complete disaster and an embarrassment for the United States. He told CBS News he believes this war is very ahead of schedule, saying, "I think the war is very complete." Pretty much, adding they have no navy, no communications, they've got no air force, their missiles are down to a scatter. But here's what doesn't make any sense. The official Department of Defense Rapid Response account, a government account, made this post just an hour ago, saying, "We have only just begun to fight." But Donald Trump also told the New York Post that he has a plan to address the surging oil prices, saying, "I have a plan for everything, okay? I have a plan for everything. You'll be very happy." And of course, he did not elaborate. He's going to hold a news conference in Miami around 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today. And according to a White House official, he is expected to speak about the conflict in Iran, so we'll see what he has to say. But no matter how much he lies, he cannot change the truth. We lost at least 7 U.S. troops, spent billions of taxpayer dollars, and Iran's regime still has not fallen. This conflict was a complete and total failure.
Let's make it clear. We've lost thousands of U.S. troops. Don't believe American media. You got to watch the media over there in the Middle East.
Donald Trump just said he...
So, yes, it's a lot worse than what America is putting on. And I don't know if they're afraid of public outrage, but, you know, at some point, y'all got to understand that these devils are going to try to run to their little military bunkers and underground caves and all of that kind of stuff. But listen, judgment going to find them anyway. Judgment going to find them anyway. Telling you. Because they know what time it is. They know that they're losing really badly right now.
There's footage that shows that an American missile strike and a Tomahawk missile likely destroyed that Iranian girls' school. So will the U.S. accept any responsibility?
Well, I
for
haven't
that strike?
seen it. And I will say that the Tomahawk, which is one of the most powerful weapons around, is used by, is sold and used by other countries, you know that. And whether it's Iran, who also has some Tomahawks, I wish they had more, but whether it's Iran or somebody else, the fact that a Tomahawk is very generic, it's sold.
This damn liar right here, boy. I mean, you ever just look at somebody lie with just a straight face? And it's just amazing how much he's lying. Now we're talking about a Tomahawk, a U.S. Tomahawk, a U.S. Tomahawk missile hit it. Trump saying it could have been anybody. Oh, that could have been anybody. We got to investigate. Anybody could have hit that school. And see, this is why America is going to get judged for its cowardice. It's the cowardness. It's to throw your stone. It's to throw stones and hide your hand. Iran, he wants us to believe that Iran hit their own school to start a war with America. No, but listen, the Medes don't fight that way. That's some Nero stuff. That's how America fights. That's how the Romans fight. That's how the Babylonians fight. Attack their own building like 9/11 to go chase after weapons of mass destruction. That's what Americans do. Them people don't operate like that. But this is what these demonic Edomites do. They project. They project. No accountability whatsoever. So you wonder why Trump said he's not going to make it to heaven. Listen, all the blood that has been spilled is all on this person's hands. There's so much blood on this guy's hands, not to mention he's a you-know-what. It's all on the files. I'm telling you.
The other countries, but that's being investigated right now.
You just suggested that Iran somehow got its hands on a tomahawk and bombed its own elementary school on the first day of the war. But you're the only person in your government saying this. Even your defense secretary wouldn't say that when he was asked, standing over your shoulder on your plane on Saturday. Why are you the only person saying this?
Because I just don't know enough about it. I think it's something that I was told is under investigation, but tomahawks are used by others, as you know. Numerous other nations have tomahawks. They buy them from us. But I will certainly, whatever the report shows, I'm willing to live with that report.
So you're the president and you don't know what the hell's going on. This is crazy. He's the president, but don't know what happened. So who ordered the strike? He's saying other countries bought it. And so you're trying to tell me somebody else, some other country off there, they framed America. They purchased one of your tomahawks. They framed you to start a war. Man, and you wonder why the retribution has to come. You wonder why Iran is winning right now. The Most High is done with all this evil coming from America, and they're going to have to suffer the consequences.
The president was asked how we're doing in Iran.
Their army is gone. They're just about, look, their navy is gone. Their communications are gone. Their leaders are gone. 2 sets of their leaders are gone. They're down to their 3rd set. Their air force is wiped out entirely. Think of it. They have 32 ships. All 32 are at the bottom of the ocean. Other than that, they're doing very well, Coach. Very well.
The president was asked how we're doing in Iran.
Their army is gone. They're just about, look.
All you can do is laugh, because in reality, America is getting Swiss cheesed right now. I mean, we are getting Swiss cheesed right now. And it's being done in an asymmetrical fashion. It's not being done like head on, but it's tearing up the infrastructure of America. From the financial system to our outside forces, our outside military forces, America's being destabilized. And this dude's pride, arrogance, and ego, either that or he just knows everything is bad and believes that he can lie his way out of it. He just keeps on keeping on, y'all. He just keeps on lying.
It was a Tomahawk missile, but they already knew that. It was a guided cruise missile, so they knew it was a Tomahawk. Iran doesn't have Tomahawk missiles, only America does.
Did the United States bomb a girls' elementary school in southern Iran on the first day of the war and kill 175 people?
In my opinion, based on what I've seen, that was done by Iran.
Once again, look at Pete Hegseth, sitting there knowing they did it.
Is that true, Mr. Hegseth? It was Iran who did that?
We're certainly investigating.
Still investigating.
But the only side that targets civilians is Iran.
It was a Tomahawk missile, but they already knew that. It was a guided cruise missile, so they knew it was a Tomahawk. Iran doesn't have Tomahawk missiles, only America does.
Did the United...
I mean, you can look at Pete Hegseth's face. He know damn well Allegedly, he the one who ordered that damn strike. Listen, these people out here are the Vikings. You know, these people are destructive. You got to understand, they come from a bloodline of pure violence. You know, the reason for this war is white supremacy. That's the reason why. The white entitlement. They believe that they have the right to go grape, murder children, you name it. They believe that they have the right to do it. This is what they've always been doing. They've always been cannibals. They've always looked at everyone else in the world in an inhumane fashion. They always believe that they have the right to brutalize people of the world and take their resources. This is what they do. They always have been soulless. They come from Vladimir the Impaler and Dracula and all. Listen, they come from the Idumean bloodline. They come out of the Caucasus, and it's in their DNA to rebel and revile. It is in their loins to desire the blood of other people. You understand what I'm saying? Absolute wickedness personified. They're fueled and motivated by it. They have an insatiable appetite for destruction, and they have no shame. And if their mouth is moving, they're lying. But not too many pastors and preachers are, going to speak out on this stuff because they want to walk on eggshells. But no, the truth is the truth. White supremacy started the war, and it's going to have to be judged accordingly. I'm telling you, man, these people are atrocious. Absolutely atrocious. Here's a closer look at Pete Hegseth's face when asked.
Did the United States bomb a girls' elementary school in southern Iran on the first day of the war and kill 175 people?
In my opinion, based on what I've seen, that was done by Iran.
Is that true, Mr. Hegseth? It was Iran who did that?
We're certainly investigating.
Still investigating.
But the only side that targets civilians is Iran.
The only side that targets civilians is Iran. Lies. America has always targeted citizens. That's how they go to war. For them, it's a way of producing fear. They have to produce fear because that would make the people afraid to rally together. But if you look at what's going on in Iran right now, the togetherness is there. Excuse me. So it didn't work. It didn't work. Matter of fact, look at the stuff that Iran is posting. And I just want to show you how unserious Americans are right now and our people are, which I get it to a degree because this is their war. This is the judgment of the heathens. Let me make this clear. We're about to see the heathens be judged. Even if 1,000 fall at our side, if it ain't meant for us to go, we still gonna be walking. That's just what it's gonna be in this war. Most High is doing something different.
Why are we so unserious as a fucking generation? Read these comments. Just letting you know, Michigan is no longer a part of the U.S. I know one thing. I bet not wake up dead. Just want to say, I have nothing to do with any of it.
Iran posted, "Do not sleep tonight." Look at our people. Majority melanated people. We just cracking jokes. We very unserious about this.
Y'all actually cool people. We're not that young no more. We can't pull an all-nighter. This message is for Donald only. Long as y'all aiming for the White House and not Mississippi, I'm finna rub these toes together. Man, I ain't even do nothing. It's Ramadan. Why are we so unserious as a fucking generation?
I'm gonna be clear, like the Iran military media, that's probably some other channel that posted that. But I'm showing you just how unserious people are about this. Now, to a degree, we shouldn't be worried, but we got to be watchful. We shouldn't be worried, but we got to be watchful. I just thought I'd share that with y'all just to so you could see the mentality, right? Just look at the mentality. Now, we going to get into why I shared that, because if you look at them Iranians, this is not a game. This is not no joke for them. And Trump is still sending threats, man. After all of those bases got hit, he's still going on and on.
President Trump has threatened to unleash what he calls America's deadliest weapon on Iran, saying that if they refuse to surrender, he will be forced to completely destroy their country by becoming their next president. President Trump has threatened to unleash what he calls America's deadliest weapon on Iran, saying that if they refuse to surrender, he will be forced to completely destroy their country by becoming their next president.
Yo, the level of arrogance coming from Donald Trump is insane, y'all. It is insane. Because we getting news now that them sleeper cells have been activated. So we got to be on point and locked in.
Pay attention and listen, because Iran is about to activate all sleeper cells in the United States. Look.
Iran may be activating sleeper cells. Quote, the U.S. has intercepted encrypted communications believed to have originated in Iran that may serve as an operational trigger for sleeper assets outside the country. If true, further illustrating Secretary of State Marco Rubio's point, we are fighting a terrorist government.
Pay attention and listen, because Iran is about to activate all sleeper cells in the...
So situational awareness, we already know that we got to be on that. Fellas, we got to have our game on point. Although we're not walking around in fear. Like somebody in the chat says, there has been a heightened level of stress on the people since 2020. We still got to be ready. Because the way these people are playing these war games, times are moving quicker and quicker. And now they're talking about this draft coming.
Watch this disturbing news out of the White House, where Trump's press secretary, Caroline Leavitt, did not rule out the possibility of Trump instituting a draft for the Iran war. Look at this.
Others out there are worried that we're going to have a draft, that they're going to see their sons get in and daughters get involved in this. What do you want to say about the president's plans for troops on the ground? As we know, it's been largely an air campaign up until now.
Before she answers that, somebody in the chat asks, what's a sleeper cell? A sleeper cell is pretty much a secret agent or an operative that is stationed in an environment where they can destroy something from the inside. Meaning Iran back in under the Biden administration, there was a lot of military aged men coming from the Middle East. And these were military age men without families. When those borders were wide open under the Biden administration, a lot of these guys came over. So a sleeper cell is somebody who is there walking among us that'll all of a sudden pull out an AR-15 and start putting slugs in people, putting hot ones in people. Or being willing to, commit some type of attack from the inside. And Iran is saying that they can activate those sleeper agents, and they do exist. They're here. Yeah. So in case, because I see a couple people say, "What Nubreed? What's a sleeper cell?" And that's what that is. All right. But here we have Caroline Leavitt talking about the possibility of a draft.
It has been, and it will continue to be, and President Trump wisely does not remove options off of the table. I know a lot of politicians like to do that quickly, but the president, as commander-in-chief, wants to continue to assess the success of this military operation. It's not part of the current plan right now, but the president, again, wisely keeps his options on the table.
Hey, Caroline, you want us to think you're smart. Well, the question was about the draft, and you really dodged that because you know Donald Trump has had conversations with the administration about doing a draft. Well, if we're going to have a draft, then let's draft Barron Trump, let's draft Kai Trump. The entire family can go. In fact, anybody who voted for this can go. ICE can go fight in this war for ExxonMobil, Shell, the Epstein class, and Israel. Good luck. Watch this disturbing news out of the White House where Trump's press...
Right. Let's see their sons and daughters go ahead and go over there and fight this war. They ain't going to do that.
The decisions that the president is making with this war just might be the reason that everybody suffers the consequence. Now, I'm going to say a couple of things without saying them, but I need you to pay attention. Let's start with the fact that the United States sent the E-6B Mercury Nuclear Command aircraft to the Middle East. Now, if you don't know about this aircraft doesn't carry bombs. This aircraft carries final orders. You heard what I just said? It carries final orders. Now, we're going to get back to that. Now, like I said, I'm going to say a couple of things without saying a couple of things. But this is Iran. You see what they blew up in Iran? I need you to pay attention to that. Look at what's going on right here. I also want you to know that Iran said somebody's going to pay for that. The sky over there is covered in black smoke. They said it rained. And when it rained, the rain was black. This ain't good. We're going to get back to that bomber though. This plane is USA's doomsday plane. And this plane only comes out in case of a disaster. They sent this plane to the Middle East. I see a lot of people making videos saying what they would do if there was a nuclear blast. Reality to the fact is, it ain't shit you could do if there's a nuclear blast. We are in some dangerous times. This plane signifies a lot. If they have plans on doing what this plane does over there, we got a problem. I'm out. The decisions that the president is making with this war just might be the reason that everybody...
And I hear Trump's threats about some big attack coming to Iran. I'm going to tell y'all this right now. Anything that Trump tries to throw at Iran is going to be intercepted. From this point on, it looks like it's going to go downhill for America. Now, of course, there will be a few more attacks, but at this point, it's not looking too good. Because when he bombed those oil refineries, he messing with other people's money. He messing with China's money. He's messing with Russia's money. And they're just not having it. So, man, it's not looking good. This thing is getting very real at this point. It's getting real. And I want to share with you all Trump's posture at this point, one of his newest sit downs. Just want you to pay attention.
But we're doing very well, and I think a big factor in this world and future factor is what we're doing right now with Iran. If we don't stop them, or if we didn't stop them, or if we didn't start, they've been decimated. But if we didn't do what we're doing...
Now I want y'all to pay attention. He looked like he might have just had a stroke not too long ago, too. And I want to react to this comment. The black smoke going to cause serious health issues for innocent people. Exactly. Now, remember when this all started, Trump came in a whole auspice of he's trying to liberate Iranians. Now they can have peace and safety outside of tyranny and all of that nonsense that he was touting. Y'all remember that. Now, how could anybody be freed or get any peace or any of that? How could the people be liberated when you just bombed one of their biggest cities and all you did was put the health of 8 million people in jeopardy? Do you understand that this is men, women, and children being affected? Not military, So now pay attention to what's going on right now. Iran is bombing military bases of America. America is doing what in return? Slaughtering their country. I mean, it doesn't take a genius to figure out who's fighting nobly, who's fighting with any level of integrity, who's right, who's wrong. The people over there, listen, I'm pretty sure there's hundreds of thousands of people whose lungs have collapsed. I'm pretty sure that there's tens and thousands of casualties. And I'm pretty sure that from generation to generation, there's going to be people who have health complications, born with abnormalities. Because why? That environment is now like a nuclear site. It's not looking good. Now the retaliation is real. There's no turning back at this point from this war.
Right now, you would have had a
And his speech is really slurring. He just seems something's wrong with Trump.
nuclear war, and they would have taken out many countries because you know what? They're sick people. They're mentally ill, sick people. They're angry. They're crazy. They're sick. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
I mean, he said they're angry, they're crazy, and they're sick. Listen, them people are pissed off. They are most definitely angry. They are most definitely angry over there. And the Persians are known to be wild. The book of Genesis called them wild. Because when they fight, they fight. But he has the nerve to be calling these people crazy. Yeah, he got that after-stroke slur, man. I don't know what's going on, man. He might need a reboot. Something going on with Trump. But I'm going to tell you right now, Israel is firing back. I mean, not Israel, but Iran is firing back on Israel. Israel is taking a beating right now.
Israel has been hit really hard this past hour. There's been 4 waves of ballistic missiles from Iran to Israel the past hour, and this included the uninterceptable cluster warheads. Major areas of Tel Aviv are without power, and there are tons of injuries. Also, Israeli authorities have shut down the internet in areas of Tel Aviv to avoid any damage videos getting out. There's been well over 60 direct hits in the past hour. Also, the American 5th Fleet in Bahrain is on fire. The video of the Iron Dome, watch this one right here, it doesn't intercept a single rocket. Count this. This is what? 6 Iron Dome interceptors, and a ballistic missile right above just comes right through them. I don't know if I'm believing the odds anymore that 95% of them are being intercepted. We can watch this ballistic, not even a cluster warhead, make its way down. Wasn't even tried to get intercepted, and it's going to have a direct hit. The censorship out of Israel right now, specifically Tel Aviv, is insane. They're threatening jail time. They're putting cell jammers. They're literally intercepting videos as people are trying to send them to each other. Israel has been hit really hard.
It's getting crazy out there. It's getting wild out there. But look at the Iranian people. I mean, they look like they together. You know, Khamenei's, the Ayatollah Ali's son, has now taken the ranks, and the people are rallying behind him. They're truly rallying behind him. So, you know, whatever spirit they were trying to kill in Iran, it looked like they ignited something. It looked like it's getting real. Let me tell you what the scriptures tell us. The scriptures tell us in Mark 13:33, take ye heed, watch and pray, for ye know not when the time is. So what we're supposed to be doing right now is watching, praying, taking heed, looking at what's going on globally, looking at the positioning and posturing that's going on. And the scriptures also tell us in Daniel 12:10, many shall be purified and made white and tried, but the wicked shall do wickedly. And none of the wicked shall understand, but the wise shall understand. See, we understand what's going on prophetically. And we talked a little bit about this last night, how a lot of people who are wicked are just going to become even more wicked. But the things that we're going to go through, the things that we're going to see in America when things change for the worse, is going to purify some people. Some things we're going to be stripped of certain civil liberties. Some of our hearts are going to be tested. We're going to be in the wilderness of our people. Some of us are going to have to clean up our acts. Some of us are going to have to be purified in the name of survival. We're going to have to choose a side, get close to the Most High, and get rid of all of our American Babylonian impurities. All of the residue that's on us has to be cleaned off. And we have to be set apart, or we're going to have to be partakers of Babylonian sins, or her plagues, rather. So even though we're talking about what's going on in the physical realm, yes, this is very spiritual, Golden Sea. We're not just on here pushing war propaganda, but we must be watchful and mindful of what's literally happening, because as I do this work and I spread the truth, I notice that there's a cognitive dissonance with people when you state the obvious of what's taking place prophetically. So you have to physically show them what's happening, so they understand that, no, this is the reality of the situation. This is how close we are to Armageddon, or the Battle of Megiddo, and the end time prophecies. This is how close we really are. And so, it got to be known. It got to be known.
Okay, you guys, there is a ton of red flags that just went off that I want you guys to be aware of. Check this out. Now, first, let's start with Homeland Security, in which the security lines at the airports are reaching up to 3 hours due to the lack of TSA. Now, this is due to the lack of funding that ended on February 13th after Congress couldn't reach a deal on the immigration enforcement reforms, which now leaves 50,000 TSA workers working without pay. But it also means a massive lapse in security itself, because Kansas City International Airport had a bomb threat where they had to evacuate tens of thousands of people, which is terrible timing because we're in the middle of a war right now, but also it's affecting the gas price.
Look at that, man. $8.29. That's what's going on in Kansas City. They just evacuated the airport. I seen videos of people recorded from the airport earlier. It's wild.
Is because this is the current gas price in Los Angeles right now. Yes, that's over $8. And speaking of war, there is
now here's something interesting. Some of y'all may remember me saying this, but of course we know that they don't have the capabilities of sending a missile and hitting America from Iran. However, if they were to have the capabilities of doing so, some form of ballistic, something that they have that can travel that distance, the place it would hit is, guess what? Los Angeles. So I find this interesting. That would be the West Coast would be the place they could actually hit. All right. For the record, it would be the West Coast, somewhere in Los Angeles. And now we're already seeing Los Angeles getting affected the most right now in America. But let's go.
Reports that Trump has sent doomsday nuclear planes to the Middle East, but that's just hearsay, right? Right? Actually, no. It's been confirmed that the U.S. deployed an...
let me address that in the chat, because I've seen those videos. They saying that Netanyahu's brother was, his house was on fire. Oh, now somebody's saying that he was unalived in a car accident. What? I'm gonna have to do my fact check on that. But that house being on fire, they was trying to say that was Netanyahu's house or his brother's house that was on fire. That was false. That was fake news. I checked on that source already, but I have to look into it. And there's a couple little news clips I gotta show y'all. Some further escalations the Pentagon issued direct warnings to the Iranian people. So they're threatening the people after already attacking the people. And then also, Trump, he gives a very chilling warning to the new Ayatollah, which is Khamenei's son. And we got to talk a little bit about that too, but let's go.
E-6B Mercury Doomsday plane, which is a nuclear command aircraft for submarine comms and launch orders. Wait, launch orders? And it says it was deployed around the 4th or 5th of March, which means it's already over there. And this doesn't help either, where 2 senior Trump administration cabinet members are buying underground bunkers, and the owner of the bunker company said, one of them texted me yesterday asking me, when is my bunker ready? Bro, what?
I told y'all, this is my first time seeing this video. Somebody sent this to me, and I told y'all them people getting ready, getting them damn bunkers. I told you. They know what time it is. They getting them bunkers ready for a reason. At this point, from all the circulations I'm seeing, America's the underdog at this point. America's not looking too strong right now.
Now, this is the bunker manufacturer by the name of Ron Hubbard, which is kind of weird, like L. Ron Hubbard, but he says he's inundated with calls from politicians to billionaires. And all this doomsday talk is very interesting timing, only because everybody is looking forward to seeing this Marvel movie at the end of the year named Doomsday. Predictive programming strikes again. Make sure you guys grab my survival guide. Also hit up my YouTube, The Maverick Approach, and let me know what you guys think about all this down below.
Interesting, very interesting. And these people have been putting some predictive programming out there. I do agree with that, but we already stamped it. They getting ready because they know what time it is. They know what time it is. I just want to show y'all what Trump has been posting too. He says, let me just read this real quick. It says, Iran just stated that they are going to hit very hard today, harder than they have even ever been hit before. Pause. They better not do that. However, because if they do, we will hit them with a force that has never been seen before. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald Trump. He's talking all of this big talk, man. And it's just not looking good. Yep. Somebody said that was Rihanna's house. No, Rihanna's house was shot up. I did hear about Rihanna's house getting shot up. I don't know. It's probably some type of retaliation because she is with ASAP Rocky. And ASAP Rocky, I don't know if y'all know this, but he damn near murdered his best friend in cold blood and didn't do no jail time. And they saying that, it's because of his influence of him being with Rihanna. But I mean, he didn't get no time. He's on camera. ASAP Rocky is on camera shooting at this person. So he has real beef, he got real beef in the streets. It's just my personal thing. I think that Rihanna's house was shot up because of something with ASAP Rocky. That's what I think personally. Either that or a failed blood sacrifice. But it's more believable. It's more believable that it's something to do with ASAP and his little street beef or whatever the case is. But that's my take on that. And I'm gonna keep it moving from that point because I know people probably want to know what I think of it. But there we go. Now Russia is involved. They're helping Iran. And they leaked some information today about Israel's casualties. Now I'm gonna say allegedly on this, but let's look at it.
Russian intelligence just leaked Israel's real casualties. 6 Israel generals dead, 32 Mossad agents dead, 198 Air Force officers dead, 462 soldiers dead, 11 nuclear scientists dead. Yo, Israel is getting obliterated by Iran. Russian intelligence just leaked Israel's real casualties. 6 Israel generals dead, 32 Mossad agents dead, 198 Air Force officers dead, 462 soldiers dead. 11 nuclear scientists dead. Yo, Israel is getting obliterated by...
Man, that's crazy. If they got some of their leaders too. That's what they saying. Yep. Yeah, let's share this scripture as well, because this is more confirmation about these people hiding in their caves and bunkers. And I should have kind of spoke on that a little bit longer, but I want to read this. And it says, and this is I know this verse, but I don't see the scripture posted on here, but it says, hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains, and said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us and hide us from the face of them that sit on the throne and watch, and from the wrath of God. See, people that listen, they get in their bunkers together. This is what these devils do. This is what white supremacy do: destroy the world and then hide, cause division and then hide, take out innocent people and then hide. Yeah. Iran is out here Swiss cheesing and blicking Israel out. It's like they looking at it like we can't reach Babylon, we can't reach America, but we gonna hit everything around us. I'm telling you, it's getting real. It is getting real. Yeah, I mean, hey, America went too far with this.
They are bombing the shit out of Iran's oil refineries right now, bro. I don't know, gang. I don't know, Iran. You got 24 hours to respond, bro. Like I said, Mar-a-Lago, Florida, hey, do what you got to do.
Man. Yeah, they tore that oil refinery up. Don't want to get hit with no copyright. Let's take that out. Let's take that on out. Let's go. Let's go. But America's losing the war so far, for sure.
Pay attention and listen, because Iran is strategically winning the war against the United States. Iran just destroyed a key $300 million U.S. radar used to direct missile defense systems in the Gulf. Do you understand how devastating that is? Because without this radar, you can't detect early warnings from missiles being sent over by Iran. And if you can't detect these missiles that are coming, you are going to get hit by everything. But it gets worse, because all of this expensive military equipment that is being destroyed by Iran is being paid for by the U.S. taxpayers, meaning everyone in the United States who pays their taxes, you are paying for everything that is being destroyed. And what Iran is trying to do is make the United States go broke. Pay attention and listen, because Iran...
Right, and the United States is going broke. Somebody asked me an interesting question. Charles Emery says, Nubreed, how do you know this war is about freeing God's people? Well, the Bible tells us that everything that happens on the face of this planet is for the greater good of those who love God. There's not a leaf that falls from the tree without the Most High say so. Everything that happens is for his people. And prophetically, it is stated that at the end, Jacob would have next. Esau would be the end of the world, which is these white supremacists, the bloodline of the serpent seed. They would have the end of the world, but we would have the world that follows. The whole Bible is about setting the children of the Most High free. That's what it's all about. But in order for this system to go, it has to be purged by fire. The Most High flooded the earth once before, but now to get rid of the evil has to be purged by fire. All right.
Iran is strategically winning the war against the United States.
They are.
Here's what the homepage of the New York Times looked like today. News from a widening war in the Middle East that's brought in at least half a dozen and more countries. A U.S. economy on the brink. A huge miss in today's job numbers sent stocks tumbling so hard, even Fox couldn't ignore it.
So we have a negative number for February non-farm payrolls, a loss of 92,000 jobs. You can see the market reacting. We are also seeing the
We just lost 92,000 jobs.
unemployment rate tick up to 4.4%, a loss of factory jobs of 12,000, government jobs, a loss of 6,000, private sector jobs, a loss of 86,000. Again, all of these numbers, to be clear here, are the opposite of the estimates that we got.
And that very dire jobs report is happening as Trump's senseless, deadly, costly war is driving up gas and oil prices worldwide. Just look at that chart. Look all the way to the right where it goes vertical. That is the cost of what's called light sweet crude, right? That's the gasoline that ends up in your car, nearly doubling since the beginning of the year. And Donald Trump keeps claiming he's doing great on gas prices. He loves to talk about gas prices. As of yesterday, the price Americans pay at the pump had risen 27 cents a gallon since last week, according to the American Automobile Association. Here's what the homepage of the New York Times looked like today. News from a widening war in the Middle East that's brought in at least half a dozen and more countries. A U.S. economy on the brink. A huge miss in today's job numbers sent stocks tumbling so hard, even Fox couldn't ignore it.
So we have a negative number for February non-farm payrolls, a loss of 92,000 jobs. You can see the market reacting. We are also seeing the unemployment rate tick up to 4.4%, a loss of
Now, this is important, brothers and sisters. Thank you for the support. KC Motorsports, I appreciate it. Says, keep the info coming in, new. If we stay ready, we don't have to get ready. Absolutely. And this is imperative right here. Staying ready. And that's just what I was about to really go in about, because we talk about preparedness and moving accordingly. Brothers and sisters, the unemployment payments are not going through, and 92,000 U.S. jobs have been lost. The gas prices are going through the roof. And when we think about what's going to be available for us 10 years from now, we have to be absolutely proactive, and we have to be self-sufficient. Listen, building strong relationships is the most important thing we can do right now. When 2020 came or 2019 came with COVID and they had everybody social distancing, we got to be doing the opposite at this point. We got to build strong networks with people and strong bonds with people. Why? Because moving into the future, it's going to take community. It's going to take networking. You have to create your own job. You're going to have to learn trades. You're going to have to learn skills. It is important that we start to look at opportunities differently. People say a lot about multi-level marketing. Y'all know I'm involved in multi-level marketing, but multi-level marketing is predicated on your own work. I work in the travel industry, have my own travel agency. And it's predicated on doing your own work. What you put in is what you get out. Because the jobs are going in America. It's to the point where in 10 years, there will be no jobs. It will be some sort of universal basic income. Let's say if America's standing in 10 years, let's say if America's still here in 10 years, there will be some form of universal basic income. And that will be for everybody who take the damn mark of the beast. That will be for everybody who decide to sell their soul and become a slave to the system. That's just what it's going to be. They're going to get a damn AI chip put in their brain, and they're going to be walking around like androids. We have to figure out other means to get to it. And it's power in numbers. It's power in numbers. I'm telling you right now, they're not making this stuff up, and we know it because the homelessness is through the roof. Trump is sitting here lying to the people while homelessness is on the uptick. Look at this. Let me see. Proverbs 16:1. The preparation of the heart in man and of the tongue is from Yah. Exactly. There's strength in unity. There's strength in being resourceful. If we learn anything based on how Iran is fighting their war, we have to fight our war the same way and be resourceful. I'm telling you.
Factory jobs of 12,000, government jobs, a loss of 6,000, private sector jobs, a loss of 86,000. Again, all of these numbers, to be clear here, are the opposite of the estimates that we got.
And that very dire jobs report is happening as Trump's senseless, deadly, costly war is driving up gas and oil prices worldwide. Just look at that chart. Look all the way to the right, where it goes vertical. That is the cost of what's called light sweet crude, right? That's the gasoline that ends up in your car, nearly doubling since the beginning of the year. And Donald Trump keeps claiming he's doing great on gas prices. He loves to talk about gas prices. As of yesterday, the price Americans pay at the pump had risen 27 cents a gallon since last week, according to the American Automobile Association. Here's what the homepage of the New York Times looked like.
So the New York Times homepage is telling you about all the job losses. And it's happening quick. It's happening very quickly. We got to move accordingly.
The United States is going to lose the war against Iran, and only Arabs saw this coming. Here is why. Iran did not just wake up and decide to fight America. They have been preparing for this exact moment for 20 years. They even ran a practice war last year just to study how America fights. Think about that. While America was sleeping, Iran was training. Now here is what the news is not telling you. Iran is not trying to win on the battlefield. They do not need to. They are cutting off the food supply to the entire Gulf region. They are targeting the water supply. Saudi Arabia gets 60% of its water from desalination plants. One drone strike and 10 million people have no water in 2 weeks. No water means Saudi Arabia falls. Saudi Arabia falls means the petrodollar dies. Petrodollar dies means the American economy collapses from the inside. And it gets worse. America is spending millions of dollars to shoot down Iranian drones that cost $50,000 each. They are literally going broke trying to defend themselves. This is not a war America can win with bombs. And deep down they know it. Arabs have watched this pattern destroy empires for centuries. Now the whole world gets to watch it happen.
Y'all got to understand, Rome fell the same way. You know? Or I should say Babylon, ancient Babylon fell the same way. Listen, let me say this right now. You are not going to beat a country that's been around 5,000 years. China, Iran, 5,000 years. Both of those countries been around for a long time. You're not going to just walk over them. Somebody tell me how old America is. 1,000 years old, if that. Actually, it's what America is about 750 years old. I mean, America been here, but America has not been established as America. Listen, let me explain something to you, yo. America is a baby to places like China and Iran that have been around 5,000 years. This will be the shortest ruling kingdom ever. America will be. Revelations 18:2. Babylon the Great is fallen, and has become the habitation of devils and the whole of every foul spirit. It's falling. It's falling. And here's the irony of all of this. We sitting here, we speaking the truth, but a lot of people, they're going to think that this is just a hustle, that we just talking to be talking. We not like, listen, we not them. We're not like them. See, if we don't talk about this, the blood will be on our hands. This is real talk. America is running out of time. That's the reality of the situation. That's not fear mongering. That's the reality of the situation. Every great empire that ruled the way America ruled, with tyranny, deceit, destruction, chaos, and war, it will fall. The Bible literally says, woe to a land built upon blood. It was built upon the blood in the transatlantic slave trade. It was built upon the blood of the indigenous foundational Black Americans, the foundational Black American Indians. It was built on blood. It has no other way to fall but in blood. It was established in war, not Judeo-fundamental Christian values. It was started in masonry, secret societies, and conquests. It has to have its time. It's done so much evil in such a short span of time. A lot of Americans are so prideful and arrogant. They looking at America like the big dog. No, these countries been around 5,000 years. America been around 700 and something years, and they already on their damn last leg trying to battle with a country that's already battle tested. The Persian Empire didn't go nowhere. They're still there, right there in Iran. And see, this is something a lot of people didn't know. Back in the early 50s, Iran was actually one of the most technological savvy, developed countries in the world. It looked like America. They had like a version of Hollywood and everything before everybody did. That's history that I'm gonna have to show y'all one day. Somebody said America's about 250 years old. No, it's a little bit older than that. I mean, because the transatlantic, our slave captivity is about 400 years. And I'm giving them a stretch saying 750. Because honestly, what would be America without the transatlantic slave trade? What would be America? It would be nothing. It wouldn't be nothing established here. It would be nothing built here without us. So it's a new country trying to go up against a country that already done had wars and battles and every damn thing else. Pride and arrogance ain't gonna get it. Somebody said, the USA hasn't been around nowhere near 500 years. That's why I said, hey, I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. It's a very young nation. It's a baby compared to Iran. It may be under 500 years old. Y'all might be on to something. People saying that America turns 250 on the 4th of July. I don't know how y'all came up with 250 when we've been in slavery for 400 years. No, what am I saying? I don't know. Y'all might be right. I'll do my research. I'll look at when it was established, because you're right. They did have to fight. America had to fight for its freedom with the Tea Party thing. So y'all might be right. I mean, if you're talking about when it was actually established, 4th of July, y'all right, man. Hey, look, I stand corrected. Yeah, 1776 to 2026. Y'all, come on, man. That ain't nothing. There's some people in Iran probably 250 years old. Believe it or not. It's a couple people in them damn mountains 250. And you think, boy, Americans are bewildered. Yeah, they had to get their freedom from Great Britain. Yeah, y'all right. Yeah. And they think they're going to rise up against a country been around that damn long. I mean, right here, dude is talking, man. He's talking. He's letting it be known what's going on.
In real time. And if you want to know how to protect your wealth when empires fall and wars break out, comment the word wealth and I will personally send you my guide. The United States.
Yeah, people, he got to get his hustle on too. Because you ain't gonna be able to protect nothing when it all hit the fan for real, for real. When this game over for real, you ain't gonna be able to protect your wealth. You're gonna need resources. Your wealth is gonna be your health, your relationships, and your resources and your skills. That's gonna be wealth. Because right now they are preparing for the forever war. That's what they're doing right now, but it ain't gonna last forever.
The biggest American buildup in military history is what is happening right now in the Middle East. Almost the majority of our entire air force is in the Middle East, and they're just out in the open. These are F-35 fighter jets in Jordan. Not to mention 2 aircraft carriers and a chunk of our entire Navy. The more planes and ships on the way 24/7 right now. The Iranians are not playing around burying their artillery underground so they're not able to be hit. And by the way, thousands of ballistic, cruise, and hypersonic missiles. Hypersonics, which by the way, we just can't shoot down. The technology doesn't exist. And all it takes is for one of these to slip through and hit a warship, and that's like $5 trillion gone. From an Iranian $100,000 missile or just a drone swarm. To make matters worse, this Air Force base, which houses our B-1 and B-2 bombers, the British who own it have just told us we're not going to be able to use it. Meaning we can no longer just go in and bomb everything in the middle of the night because that base is unusable now. This is going to be a head-on-head confrontation that is going to be historic.
Yeah, it's gonna last. It's gonna last a while. Yeah, this is Persia versus Rome all over again. I'm not saying that America is not gonna put up a fight. I'm not saying that. America still has a couple cards that they can play. However, it's not looking too good as far as the finances to be able to fund the war. I want to read a scripture to you all. And this scripture is important. Luke 21:36. Watch ye therefore and pray always, that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass. We're supposed to be watching always, praying that we be counted worthy to escape all these trials. There's power in prayer, because when you pray, the Most High could give you insight. There's power in actually talking to the Most High, letting the Holy Spirit guide you. There's been times that I prayed when making decisions, and that's been something that I just advise all you brothers and sisters to incorporate this in your life. I'm going to tell you some real talk. When you are unsure, when you have tough decisions to make, pray, and say, Lord, I don't know what to do. You have to give me direction. Right now, you got to be very intentional with everything you do. You have to pray. You have to ask for that discernment and take your time. He might not even answer you right away. But when it's time to make certain decisions, to move a certain place or do something that you're unsure of, how many of y'all have witnessed a certain peace come over you? A certain peace will come over you when you know the Most High has given you that discernment. Prayer is important. I'm going to read that scripture one more time, and then I'm going to read this information coming from Real 80s too. Let me see. We got Luke 21:36. Pray ye, watch ye therefore, be watchful, and pray always. Now pray sometimes. Now don't pray at all, because the Lord know you once. And pray always. Watch ye therefore, and pray always, that ye may be counted worthy to what? Escape all these things that shall come to pass. So not only are we supposed to be watchful, we're supposed to be praying all the time that we may be worthy to what? Escape all the things that are coming. It's real talk. Real 80 says the transatlantic slave trade to the continental British colonies that became the United States is generally considered to have started in 1619, and the year 1619 to 2026 would be 407 years. Yep. That's some good info right there. That's good info, because I knew it was around 500, 407. That's a good point right there. I mean, that's technically when it started. So we'll give it that. Somebody said, what version does Nubreed read? The King James Version. Somebody said, Trump, do you think, Breed, do you think Trump is the modern day Pharaoh? I think Trump is more like a modern day Nebuchadnezzar. He wants to be worshiped. He's not holding you in Babylon like Pharaoh did. He's more like a Nebuchadnezzar figure. Wants to be king of the earth. Wants to be worship and reverence, and he's really a puppet. Trump is really just a puppet. Trump doesn't understand the Bible. He doesn't understand history. He's more like a King Nebuchadnezzar. I would give him that. Somebody said Nero. I think George Bush was more like a Nero. George Bush II was more like a Nero. But Trump, he's a lot of things wrapped up into one. The man's a damn psychopath. And really, the boy is wilding. All right, so I don't want to get hit with copyright. Sometimes these musics be hitting you with copyright. And just listen to this fool Trump.
One is going to be, we want to do that special Cuba. He's waiting, but he says, let's get this one finished first. We could do them all at the same time, but bad things happen. If you watch countries over the years, you do them all too fast, bad things happen. We're not going to let anything bad happen to this country. And your next one is going to be, we want to do that special Cuba. He's waiting, but he says, let's get this one finished first. We could do them all at the same time, but bad things happen.
What a dumbass. He talking about going to war with Cuba. Ain't even done. Once we done this little war with Iran, we're going to mess with other countries that we think we can really punch down on, like Cuba. Ephesians 5:16, redeeming the time because the days are evil. Redeeming the time because the days are evil. Wherefore be ye not unwise, but understanding what the will of the Lord is. That's right. Be understanding of what the will of the Lord is. That's right. Somebody says he's a modern day Archie Bunker. Somebody said Trump is a modern day clown. Yeah, man. Trump got some issues. He got some issues. But Russia's involved. They're in it. They helping Iran out.
Hey guys, it's officially World War III as Russia is officially involved in the Iranian conflict. Who could have ever seen this coming? Anybody? Jesus Christ. Now Russia is involved in giving Iran intelligence. That's how it starts, people. What's next? Military involvement from Iran or from Russia and China. That's what's coming next. Let me tell you, in case you don't know, Russia and China are going to get involved, and then we're going to be in a world war. Because not only is it going to be us against them, but our allies are going to be dragged into it too. Here it comes, World War III. You ready? Hey guys, it's officially World War III as Russia is officially in.
Right, we knew it was coming.
We have many interesting joint programs, but unfortunately the enemies of the Iranian people have now interfered with our development. We deeply mourn all the victims, the spiritual leader and their family members. For all the girls, schoolgirls and other innocent people, these martyrs, they will forever remain in our hearts. And we must be together in these moments, in moments of joy and in moments of sorrow.
See, the rest of the world is mourning those 170 girls and their teachers. The rest of the world sees the moral fallacy that took place on the first day of war. The rest of the world is looking at what America did as a heinous crime against humanity. So just so you understand that Russia and China, they have a lot of endeavors and partnerships with Iran, and they are not standing with America in what they did.
Therefore, today, it is very important that we stand together in this difficult, tragic moment for the Iranian people, and that the people of Iran know and hear this. We worked very well during the recent Intergovernmental Commission. We discussed the agreement we reached. I believe this is a major breakthrough. Even the opening of the Russian House of Culture. Many other areas of our economic activity will not be stopped, despite any challenges. So we will continue our work with Iran. We have just signed a joint agreement within the Intergovernmental Commission. We have set a work schedule for all the areas we have achieved, and we will strive to maintain this schedule despite all these challenges. We have many.
So, you know, their allies are showing up. Their allies are showing up for them. And
Kim Jong-un, my citizens are in Iran. Their return is not negotiable. Even if one of them is harmed, I will join the war without hesitation. Something tells me he doesn't care about his citizens. He just wants to join. Bro has all the toys, but no one to play with. Use VPN and insult me from America. Check if anyone has pronounced my name wrongly. What if we create AI videos and we claim that we have been attacked too? Someone please go entertain this guy before he loses control. This guy is seeing everyone around him use their military capabilities, and this guy's got all the military capabilities and no one to use it on. Bro, imagine.
Yeah, my boy Jing Jang Pao, is itching for a body, man. He's itching for a body, I'm telling you. He want all the smoke. I found a video of him in the control room. He was dancing in the control room like, yo, should I hit this button? Man, y'all don't understand, man. These guys, they're showing a level of discipline, not getting involved.
So I just will.
And I'm talking, when I say getting involved, they already involved with helping with weaponry and intercepting missiles and stuff, but they ready to just, I call him Jing Jang Pao. I don't know. That's who he look like, a Jing Jang Pao, right? But it take a level of discipline, not just using all of these little toys you got. To them, it's just toys. They sitting in the missile control rooms like, man. I mean, what is his name? Kim Jong? Stop disrespecting that man. Kim Jong is his name? Yeah, Kim Jong. Man, I'm telling you. Yeah, they ready.
Woke up and Russia joined in on the war with Iran. It's fucking over. It's fucking over, guys. World War III is actually fucking coming. Shit. So I just woke up and Russia joined in on the war with Iran. It's fucking over. It's fucking over, guys. World War III is actually fucking coming. Shit. So I just woke up and Russia joined in on the war with Iran. It's fucking over. It's fucking over, guys. World War III is actually fucking coming. Shit. So I just woke.
Y'all hear that storm? I don't know if y'all hear it, but it just started thundering outside. Oh man, this is crazy. Iran warns European countries that they could be legitimate targets if they join in.
We have already informed the Europeans and everybody else that they should be careful not to be involved in this war of aggression against Iran. If they help, I'm not trying to name any country, but if any country joins in the aggression against Iran, join America and Israel in the aggression against Iran, definitely they will be also legitimate targets for Iran retaliation. We have already informed the Europeans and everybody else.
Yo, them Europeans better stay out of it. Iran want all the smoke. They like, look, if y'all want to get involved, y'all gonna get this smoke too. If y'all want to interrupt, you know, y'all can be prepared to get y'all bases eviscerated as well. They like, look, y'all can come to their aid if you want to. We ain't gonna say no names. We ain't gonna say no names, Europe. Any of you European countries, they like stay out of it. America ain't nothing but 400 years old. Give them up. Give them up, or you're going to meet your maker too. That's how they talking. While Trump's still talking about their military is gone. We've destroyed their military. Everything's underwater. We destroyed all their bases. Iran is sitting back like, look, not only do we want smoke, but we letting you know, don't y'all get involved either. We're not letting up. Listen, you think a 5,000-year-old country is gonna turn down a ceasefire twice? They turned down 2 ceasefires and a total surrender and said, hell no. America is definitely Babylon. Now you got to think about how many Iranian soldiers been hit. Think about all the people they hit. They hit an oil reserve that got it raining, dark rain, got it raining black soot and oil out the sky, affecting the lives of 80 million citizens. And then they bombed a school. But what real damage have they done? What damage have they done to any military? Think about what I'm asking y'all. What real damage have America's done to their military? They're only bombing innocent people. They're literally only destroying innocent people. It's a sad reality. Somebody said, who did that, Nubreed? Who did what? America's only bombed a school and hit an oil reserve. They didn't, but you're not hearing them really hitting Iranian soldiers. I'm pretty sure that it was some loss, but they're not doing nothing, man. They're not doing nothing but fighting like cowards, man. And most Americans are not feeling that. They fighting like cowards. I'd rather you go ahead and send your damn ground troops. Oh man, y'all seen Oprah Winfrey lately? Look at this. What the hell going on with Oprah? Her head don't match her body. That's Ozempic Winfrey. Y'all people in Hollywood, y'all got to get off that damn Ozempic. Before you can say the word Ozempic, you drop 30 pounds. They don't even look like Oprah, man. You think they cloned her? I don't know. I just thought this was interesting. But anyway, it's getting wild, man. It's getting wild. But you know, Trump been designed to do this. They set him up to do this a long time ago.
Is a case in point that this country sits back and allows a country such as Iran to hold our hostages, to my way of thinking, is a horror.
You're advocating that we should have gone in there with troops, etc., and brought our boys out.
I absolutely feel that, yes. I don't think there's any question, and there's no question in my mind. I think right now would be an oil-rich nation. I think this country is responsible for that war by its own weaknesses. If we were respected, properly respected as a country and as a people and as a nation, I don't think that you would have the war going on right now between Iran and Iraq.
Would you like to be the president of the United States?
I really don't believe I would, Rhoda.
Why wouldn't you dedicate yourself to public service?
Because I think it's a very mean life. I would love and I would dedicate my life to this country, but I see it as being a mean life, and I also see it that somebody with strong views and somebody with the country.
Oh man, hopefully that I ain't trying to get hit with no copyright. I hear the music. Sometimes you can't even hear the music because it's down really low, and it should be transformative. It's a person talking over music while I'm reacting to what they're saying, but they still will be hitting you with copyright. So I got to stop that. But as you can see, he's been pretty much trained to do this. He's been trained to do this, man. And meanwhile, in Iran, man, they standing 10 toes.
Bro, this is Iran. Look what they say. It's crazy. I don't blame them though. They're pissed. Hey, y'all, take a look at this, bro. This is Iran. Look what they say. It's crazy.
Yeah. So here's the thing, brothers and sisters. Here's the thing. The situation in the Middle East, it has taken a serious turn. Cashapp joined it after all those strikes to Iranian oil infrastructures. All the reports indicate that it hit a lot of the key storage deposits connected to Iran's facilities, logistics, and they were pretty much targeted, which is just economic assets for the world, not just America, not just Iran. When they're providing, 20+% of the world's oil deposits coming from there, who did that really help? What was the meaning of doing that? Only to cause more pain and problems for the actual citizens there, and that's part of the backbone of fuel transportation altogether. The U.S. military sent a very clear message that they're desperate. These are no longer just small skirmishes. These are symbolic attacks. They're targeting energy infrastructures, and that signals conflict that's beyond repair. And right now, I would honestly say that we're in the most dangerous phase of war. We're in the most dangerous phase. In response, what took place was Iran launched a wave of retaliatory attacks involving missiles, drones, and they was directed towards Israeli targets because they can't hit the U.S. And they're saying that some of Israeli generals, leaders, so on and so forth have been hit as well. And we don't know how true that is, but all we know is we're not being told the full story over here in American news. That's for sure. Now, when you start seeing both sides escalate, when you see attacks on critical infrastructure, when you start seeing conflicts that spiral very quickly beyond the region where the first attack started, is not going to slow down. We're looking at a couple of years worth of war. It may, let's say it this way. It may slow down, but it's not going to stop. It's going to be continual war. What makes this moment significant is anytime energy infrastructures of any point have been historically hit, there's certain red lines that are crossed. Oil, you got to look at oil as the lifeblood of modern economies. So when you see a country target that lifeblood, they are self-destructive and desperate. And the other countries watching from the outside, they can see this. When you send militaries at depots and refineries, next thing is the shipping lanes get affected. Global fuel prices go up. The stability of the international economy is at hand. It really is. And right now, for Americans watching from home, this situation should be a reminder that global conflict can impact everyone's life much faster than we all can realize. And it affects economic stability, but it also affects supply chains. Geopolitical alliances are going to change. There's going to be people who rock with America, who would consider allies. They're going to leave America high and dry because of the stupid things they're doing. It's just downright stupid. Even if the fighting remains overseas, the ripple effect is going to reach each American household through inflation, energy costs, all based on the national security decisions that this country has made. It's going to affect every United States household. I want to be perfectly clear about that. Another important factor to consider is how quickly information is spreading right now during wartime. Social media is being flooded with videos, rumors, unverified claims are everywhere. People are talking about strikes, damages, and retaliations that are not happening. Some of it is real. Some of it is outdated footage. Some of it is deliberate propaganda. In moments like this, we need channels such as this one that we can truly rely on to give you the actual truth as it is actually occurring, because there's an information war as well. And accurate understandings require patience, verification, watching developments unfold through credible reporting. Why? Because they can tell you something through propaganda, you'll believe it, you'll fall for a trap and a snare, and you'll do something out of fear. Something that's not even happening, you believe in is happening, you end up somewhere, and this time you could be misplaced, dislocated, all of that based on all of the stuff you're going to start seeing coming out. All right. So these are some of the things we got to pay attention to. Credible reporting. You know, the real bigger picture in all of this is the world is entering a period now of heightened geopolitical tension. This conflict is no longer regional. It's tied to pretty much all global alliances and the entire economic system. What we're witnessing right now is not just another headline. It's not a reminder that stability is fragile. Americans should pay attention. Americans should stay informed. Americans should consider how global events such as this one reshape the entire world, whether through economic pressure, security concerns, shifting alliances. Moments like this change everything. All right. So I want to leave y'all with that. And I want to say, you know, to all the children of the Most High, all the people who are, you know, staying in the word, you know, we got to be obedient. We got to be disciplined. We have to definitely be of great understanding. And that's a great scripture right there. Proverbs 18:2 says, a fool have no delight in understanding, but that his heart may discover itself. See, there's a lot of people that you're going to run into they're not going to want the understanding. They're not going to want the truth, because they would rather remain docile. They would rather keep their head tucked in the sand, because they don't want their own hearts to discover itself. They don't want to discover that they are on the side of evil. They're on the side of wickedness. And you also, brothers and sisters, got to be careful. I know that I do my best to keep y'all informed, but you got to do your best, brothers and sisters, to be careful out here. And what I mean by that is, don't tell everybody everything you know, because you'd be surprised how many American citizens are sleeper cells. Ooh, what do you mean by that? You'll be surprised on how many American citizens align themselves with the beast system, and they agree with the grape that's going on in those files. They agree with the pederasty that's going on in the files. They agree with war. They agree with bombing innocent people. They agree with it as long as they can have their civil liberties. You'll be surprised how many people are in agreement and complicit with what's going on, because they're that selfish, because they're lovers of themselves. So when you're trying to enlighten certain people, they be reporting you to MAGA. They be trying to report you to the agencies. They be trying to call the CIA on you, like we got one that can see, on some they lives type of stuff. So you got to be very wise out here. Proverbs 4:25, let thine eyes look right on, and let thy eyelids look straight before thee. Ponder the path of thy feet, and let all thy ways be established. So you got to walk in wisdom. Walk in wisdom. Now, of course, I want y'all to share my material to people who have a like mind and want to be informed, but everybody not ready for this truth. It's not easy for everybody to digest. They'll hear it and be like, you know what, that's nonsense, you know? And what it is fear. It's fear. They're afraid. So you got to be mindful of this. This is right now we're going through another transformation. There's another awakening going on. And what you got to keep in mind is, brothers and sisters, it don't take much to bring somebody some truth, because his sheep will hear his voice. His sheep will hear his voice. So you shouldn't be striving and arguing with people and trying to convince them to move accordingly. No. Don't do none of that, brothers and sisters. Because at this point in time, any functioning adult in society should know what time it is. You should be able to just be like, yo, you see what's going on with the war? And they jump up like, man, listen. And it should be a connection. Don't be striving with people. It's dangerous. 1 Corinthians 15 and 58. Therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord. For as much as ye know that your labor is not in vain in the Lord. That's right. You got to be steadfast and unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord, in season and out season. But you also got to be wise and know that your labor ain't in vain. Telling you. But nonetheless, brothers and sisters, it's always an honor and a blessing building with y'all. We are coming across the 2-hour mark. I don't mind answering some questions. It's been a while since we did that. I've seen quite a few questions in this live stream today, and we can take the last 10 minutes just for some questioning. I want to hit the 2-hour mark today. Y'all doing a fantastic job, all the moderators. In case you never caught a broadcast, feel free to ask some questions if need be. And in the meantime, while y'all getting y'all questions together, I'm gonna say please support the work. My Cash App is Nubreed Global Truth, just like it reads on the channel. And also support HebrewCare.com to get all your natural products, your skin products, your soaps, all of that good stuff. And get your elderberry syrup, get all of that good stuff, right? And also support Nubreed Global Truth for, all your fly merchandise and other merch that we got on there. Yup. Somebody says one love to everybody. Hey, listen, sometimes when I do this question thing, I realize that people don't have no questions because we be leaving no stone unturned. So I'll just read a couple more scriptures. Reprove not a scorner. Let he hate thee. Rebuke a wise man and he will love thee. That's right. Don't waste your time trying to teach somebody who don't want to learn. They got a strong delusion. They'll hate you for telling them the truth. A wise person gonna love you. Why? Because he's gonna increase in learning. A wise man, he'll get wiser. Teach a just man, he will increase in learning. That's right. What's your general Chrissy asks, what's your general thoughts on prepper groups? I think they're very important. I think that it's a good thing to prep. I believe it is important. Now, you say prepper groups, so that's an even better idea. We can prep individually, but to have some form of community, some people that you can share with and commune with in these times, it's important. I actually speak about that. We could start by prepping by getting extra gas. You know, if you got somewhere you can store some gas, you can prep. If you can get some extra water, get that. So yes, I do agree that prepping is a good thing. Yep. Somebody says, yes, hearing the truth is growth and accountability. Absolutely. But everybody don't want to do that. Somebody says groups can't be trusted. That's why they have to be people that you actually can trust. Let me see. Okay, another interesting question. The End Time says, Nubreed, do you believe in the rapture? Well, the rapture was made by Jesuits, and it's a false doctrine. The Jesuits came up with a theory called dispensationalism. And what it is a chronological order on what will happen in the last days. But it was simply made up. It's a historical fallacy. The Left Behind movies, the Rapture movies, all of them are science fiction. You can look on the actual videos, the DVDs, it says science fiction. So no, the Bible says he who endures to the end, the same shall be saved. So what the rapture doctrine through dispensationalism was designed to do was use this chronological order to say, well, the mark of the beast can't be coming because you wasn't raptured up yet. So the pre-tribulation rapture is false. Not saying that Christ won't return and he won't get his people, but it will be a new heaven and a new earth. Even the scripture says the dead in Christ shall rise first. It's literally talking about us rising from the earth. It's not talking about us rising into the sky. So to answer your question, no such thing as a pre-tribulation rapture. The Bible says he who endures to the end shall be saved. You know, all those movies Caught Up and Disappear and all of that science fiction. They made that up so we can give up the fight. So people can say, well, I'm going to get raptured out of I'm going to get raptured out of here. So this can't be the tribulation. We've been going through tribulation forever. If we can't see that we're in tribulation right now, I don't know when we're going to see it. You got to see that we're in tribulation right now. Yep. Somebody says, what you mean by new heaven and new earth? That's what the scriptures tell us. The Most High is going to have a new kingdom, and there'll be a new earth for the children of Israel, the real children of Israel, the Most High's people. And I mean, the Bible even describes it verbatim what it's going to look like. It describes the 12 gates. It describes the leadership. It describes it all when Christ rules for 1,000 years. So to answer your question, that's what the new heaven and the new earth means. And it has to happen. It has to happen. But anyway, brothers and sisters, we've had a beautiful time building. It's always an honor and a blessing to build with y'all. Of course, I got more material coming. I want to thank each and every one of y'all for joining. Y'all stay safe out there. Y'all make sure y'all share the material. One love.